I went from being chronically lonely where I had no friends and it felt so isolating to where I am now where I'm socially fulfilled. I have events and meetups with friends and different people and I'm confident enough to speak to anyone else. So even if I were to lose all of this because of the skills I've gained, I know for a fact I'll never ever be lonely again. I'm just going to tell you here, the advice I'm going to give you isn't some like focus on yourself king and that's suddenly going to fix this problem. And I'm not going to tell you something like hypnosis or some weird mental trick that all these other people are telling you. Because honestly, how are you going to get hypnotized into not being lonely? It's stupid, right? I'm going to tell you the reality of it, which is you feel lonely because you don't have friends. And I'm just gonna tell you how to make friends. I'm gonna be honest, that fixed it for me. Making close friends who you connect with, who you meet consistently, that fixed it for me. It made me feel so much more fulfilled. If you make friends, I do guarantee this problem is gonna be fixed permanently. This was back in like 2024. And during this time, I was very focused. I was busy all the time. I was waking up early. I was doing tons of stuff, went to school, came back home, and immediately ate food quickly, went to the gym, and came back home. That was my routine every day. And I was so busy. I was so distracted. I didn't actually really feel much bothered about loneliness, except it would constantly, and you might relate with this, it would constantly creep back on me whenever I wasn't busy. Because you can't be busy 100% of the day. That's not possible. So every time I wasn't busy, every time I was doing something kind of relaxing, like, walking back from the gym or walking to the gym, I just feel this loneliness. It would come crashing down on me like a wave. The loneliness I've been running away from the whole day, it's finally hitting me. And I couldn't describe this feeling. It was indescribable. It wasn't even like a negative feeling. It just felt like emptiness. I don't even know if that makes sense, but maybe you relate. It just feels like this weird type of emptiness, like something is missing from your life. This is wrong. Something needs to change. I feel this thing, and I don't know why. It's only until recently I realized, oh yeah, that was loneliness. Wow, I realized I don't even feel that anymore. And I just thought, oh yeah, that was probably loneliness back then. And eventually, I didn't really do anything specific to fix it because I didn't even know it was loneliness. But I ended up making a few friends. I randomly got a message on this app called School. I was in the School community, which it's like Discord basically. And I got a message that said, yo, Prince, let's meet up. Wait, is that actually you, Prince? And I was confused. Who is this guy? I looked into it a bit more, and this guy was someone who went to my school in the past, but he left my school. And bro, I didn't like this guy. I didn't like this guy at all. In school, he was very rude towards my friend group back then, who didn't even feel like friends, honestly. I'll tell you this real quick. This is a bit off topic, but it's much better to be lonely than to be friends with people who make you feel left out. But back in the day when I was hanging out with these people, this guy was so rude and disrespectful. I did not like him. I got into a fight with one of his friends actually. And bro, no, I was so surprised. I was like, wait, is this a prank? Is this a troll? Well, no, it can't be. I'm literally paying money out of my own balance to be in this community, and he's doing the same. So he must actually be interested in this same thing. He offered to meet up, but I was a bit skeptical that, imagine this guy from school who was super rude towards you and your friends. You don't really know if this is a good idea. But I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Let's see what happens. I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man now. I've been practicing my confidence and everything. So I meet up with this guy. He's completely different. He's like, before he was a junkie. He was a literal junkie before. And now this guy is all like, he's confident, he's standing properly, he doesn't do alcohol. I don't even know if he drank alcohol before, but he acted like he did. And he's completely different. He's talking fluently and properly now. And I'm stunned. We go up to the city, we hang out a bit together, and he becomes one of my friends. I meet a few other friends like that. I meet a friend in real life, and this actually felt like real friendship. It felt like I could speak about the things on my mind, the things I wanted to speak about for so long. It felt real. It didn't even feel real, it was real. And I loved every moment of it. Because in most friendships, you don't even get to speak about what you want to because you just don't trust this person enough. But this was different. This was like I could speak about anything on my mind and it would be listened to and they'd actually understand it. It felt so much better. There was so much contrast between my old friend group and this one that it felt so weird. Honestly, I needed to get adjusted to having friends who actually feel real because the other ones were so fake. It was as if my XP in having friendship was still at level 0, bro. So I just couldn't, I didn't know how to fully interact with these people despite still being confident and having decent social skills as I was at that point. I'm just gonna stress this, bro. Being confident, being charismatic, it's extremely important. You need to be confident and you need to be to a degree charismatic. You need to be able to say what's on your mind. If you don't have these skills, it won't work for you. You can replicate exactly what I've done, but it was my ability to say what I wanted to say. It was how much I trained my social skills. For the year before this, I was training social skills. Even if I was lonely, I was still trying, at least, right? And because of this, even though I wasn't used to having friends, like real friends, I was still confident and I was still relatively funny. And because of that, they enjoyed my company and that's why we kept meeting up. If that wasn't the case, they probably just wouldn't have wanted to meet up with me again. And this boring guy who doesn't really talk much, I'm kind of weird. You need to actually develop this skill, and it is a skill and it is something you need to train. And it can be difficult. I made a lot of mistakes when I was training it, honestly, and I don't want you to go through the same amount of mistakes. And I'm going to explain just now how to do it. I'm not going to like waste your time. You know the story, you know how friendship really feels, a little bit at least. You got a glimpse into it. So I'm just gonna explain how to kind of replicate what I did by first of all improving your social skills and then finding these people. First and foremost, you'll probably just want to know how to find these people, right? If you want to find people like this, you just go to where they are. So the people I met them in, school, which I told you about. But I was in the school community, which was on a topic I already really like. So anyone in there is probably relatively similar to me. You don't need to use School, but I would recommend it. It's very good because you can meet people all across the globe. And also there's a maps feature. So on this maps feature, it's kind of like you can see people who are close to you. It doesn't dox you or anything. And because of that, that's how he knew to message me, just randomly saw me on it. So I recommend doing that. I have a school community of my own, top link in the description. But if you don't want to do that, some school communities are free, some are paid. If you don't want to do that though, you just go to where they are. So if you like something, like you really like cleaning, then maybe there's some cleaning group that's close to your house and you just have never seen it before. If you go on Google Maps and you literally just search up like cleaning club, something weird like that, you might actually find one that's close to you, some niche club community that you could go to, and though your people will be there. Your people who you can befriend, who you can actually really vibe with, will be there. Or a simple example, boxing. If you like boxing, search up boxing near me, go to some boxing classes, and when you get there, because you've been going there consistently, you're going to be frequenting it. This is where your people are. Obviously you'll be going there frequently. You just have to speak to everyone there. At this point, you'd already have been trying to improve your social skills to some degree. You'll be trying to get out of your comfort zone more, speak to more people, do all of these different practices in order to actually speak to different humans with more charisma, with more confidence, and to stop not going up to them out of fear and awkwardness. You'll have less approach anxiety just through repetition. And if you want to learn them, basically every video on my channel goes over how to do it. But also, if you don't want to join the Skill community because it is paid, there's the second link in the description. It's a free 30-minute coaching call, and I will explain to you exactly what to do to get onto the next stage of your improvement. What's the right path for you? Where are you? And of course, it'll be really personalized because you're talking to me directly. I will tell you this though, you need to genuinely have an interest in other people, because if you don't, first of all, people can tell that. If you are listening to someone but you don't really care, your mom is nagging at you and you're like, yeah, you're zoned out, you don't care, bro. I'm telling you right now, they're going to notice that, and they won't really like you. They'll just feel something is off. I don't want to talk to this person. So you need to have a genuine interest, and it benefits you to have an interest, because then you can realize, wait, do I really want to hang out with this person? Do my values really correlate with this person? I don't really like him now that I'm really paying attention to what he's saying. Because imagine building this friendship. Now you have this emotional bond with this new guy, and you realize, wait, I don't even like him. Our values completely differ. He likes what I like, but he's completely different from me. No, I don't want to hang out with this person. Well, it will be really difficult to stop hanging out, because you've built an emotional connection. Your body is like, yeah, this guy, he's an ally, let's not lose him, right? So have a genuine interest in what other people say, and just pay attention. Like, what are they really saying? Do they really vibe with you? Do you actually like them, or are you just kind of desperate for a friend? Because being desperate is not an attractive trait, bro. So genuinely pick and choose. Be like the type of person who's already confident, he's already has tons of friends, and don't be desperate. Just kind of pick. Do I really want to be friends with you? Is it worth it? Because when you have that energy, you just have friends come to you, genuinely. People are just magnetized towards you because you're happy, you're positive, you're confident, and you're charismatic. I hope this video helped. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you in there.